Hello everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit about the global economy in 2020. But before I do that, I think it's important to reflect on what happened in 2019. 2019 was an unusually challenging year for most economies worldwide, whether they were emerging markets or established economies. At the end of the fiscal year, we saw the global economy drop from about 3.6% GDP growth to about 3% GDP growth. And why this has happened is because of a number of geopolitical changes that happened in the world. The first major reason was the US-China trade war. That certainly had a massive impact, not just between the two countries, but there was a ripple effect of that in almost every region of the world. It had a major impact in Europe as well. What compounded the issues in Europe was the Brexit. The uncertainty that happened during all of 2019 with Brexit, it coming in, not coming in, is what slowed down the European economy. And countries like the UK, the France and Germany, all of them had a massive impact because of Brexit and of course the trade war with China and US. In addition to that, there were many other factors that happened in the Middle East. The constant tension, the sanctions that the US had put on Iran certainly had an impact in the Middle East region as well. Likewise, in a country like India, we saw massive impact of many government policies that had actually slowed down the investment climate in the country. So when you looked at all of these issues, what it did was depress the GDP growth from about 3.6% to about 3%. So with that background in mind, it's important to talk now about what economy will look like in 2020. So for example, in 2020, we expect the economy to perform much better than what it did in the year 2019. The expected growth rate globally will be around 4.2%, where countries like US, UK, and maybe China will likely have slightly depressed growth rates, but we do expect emerging markets, including countries like India, Brazil, to see much higher growth rates. All in all, we do expect the growth rates to grow. What we do see is that the fiscal policies in many of these countries will play a very important role. China trade war is easing out. The phase one has already happened. That will make sure that the economy between US and China and the trade between the two countries will increase multifold. And in addition to that, we do expect that countries like India will see some good development and good growth. So in conclusion, what we are seeing is a growth of 4 to 4.2% globally. Countries like Thailand, countries like Malaysia, Indonesia and Vietnam will see some positive growth. Regions like Latin America and some countries in Latin America like Mexico will see some great growth. But all in all, we will see a much better year compared to 2019. So with that, the outlook is very good and I hope everybody takes benefit of this GDP performance in 2020. Thank you.